Alright, welcome back.
Yeah, at first I was like, what the heck is that bald head? Oh, it's Wario's hat. His
Yeah.
ears kind of look like the same color.
I've made that mistake before.
Whoa, that's like a totally different looking character design.
Yeah. He's like elfish.
Yes.
What are these coins and why do I only have two of them?
Elven, by the way.
Well, I got the free smile.
I know that early publications of Lord of the Rings or maybe The Hobbit, the publishing company corrected all the elf terms.
Uh-huh.
They were like, Elven? No, Elfin.
Uh-huh.
And Tolkien was pissed.
I see.
It's like, no, it becomes a V, you know? Like, whatever you say, man.
Why would they try to correct him on that? It's like a made-up thing that he's...
I mean, fantasy was I guess, the people didn't understand it, I guess.
It's very weird.
Yeah. Elves. No, it's elves, not elves. Get it right, man.
Well, oh, I probably have to throw these guys up at.
It kind of, I take notice of the fact that this teddy bear has a stitch on its butthole.
Yeah. He's
Oh, that's to show its weak spot.
yeah.
Ow. Well then.
Come at me, big boy. Okay, so I just take his little pins. I don't know why
Ouch.
he'd have pins around if they're a weakness of his. But, you know. Video game bosses, not the oh, I probably had to hit his leg when he was down. Yeah. I don't think I've
Especially
done
Kirby
anything.
bosses. They are the most, low self-esteem, self-destructive, counterproductive entities in all of fiction.
Oh, I missed. Come on. Alright. Nope. You want to talk about something, Davoo?
Topics. Chicken and tea.
I had some chicken earlier. What?
What kind of chicken?
Oh,
What
no, I
in
didn't
what
know.
form, man?
I had some chicken strips. They were okay.
From where?
I went to a place I'd never been to, just because I saw it. It was called Wingstop, and the guys running the place. It was like two probably high school aged guys were the ones behind the counter. It seemed like they were practically alone in there, and so it took a long time for the food to come out. It was the kind of place where they've got a whole variety of different flavors, you know, you can get your chicken and with all these different kinds of spice or sauce on it, and they have a gradient level of spiciness.
Yes.
So, but it took so fucking long. I was in there for 15-20 minutes for a place that's takeout. And then it was weird because they gave me the food in this enormous bag, this huge paper bag. And the chicken was in this really big container, but it was only it was just two chicken strips, though one of them was the size of two chicken strips. They were both pretty big and they were pretty meaty, but it was you know, it wasn't a ton of food for this huge fucking bag. They did fry, they had a fries in a tray, but they'd given me a takeout bag, you know? So, I didn't keep the bag perfectly upright. So when I opened the bag, the fries were just fucking everywhere. The tray had been completely useless. I was like, why don't you put the fries in, a fry container? Something that won't just spill out and leave this totally useless tray.
Maybe they're trying to go along with the Jimmy John's. No. The Five Guys principle.
It definitely felt like the place was supposed to be a Five Guys of chicken. But
Once you're done with this, I'll explain the Five Guys fries principle.
The thing about Five Guys though is that it's always everyone in there is super on point. You know, I'm gonna fail this. I don't have enough time.
Yeah, people at Five Guys, they are really in the zone.
Yeah, everyone's on top of their game. Clearly, you know,
They know their burgers are the best.
yeah, they give a fuck. And
Also, ordering from there is simple. You know,
Yeah.
have a burger, and then you add the stuff on it. You don't have all these.
you would have hated trying to order at this wings place because it was pretty confusing, especially because the guy was kind of like the kid who was ringing me up, who was probably like 17, like clearly is not used to the idea of someone coming in who hasn't been there before and having to explain it, you know? So like it's like the fact that I didn't know exactly what to say made him confused more so than me.
Yeah.
So he just kind of was like, "Oh, yeah, I mean, oh, did I ask you this yet?" And I'm like, "Yes, you did ask me that," you know?
Oh,
Like,
wow.
Like that kind of thing.
That's messed up.
So, but yeah, but the thing is, you know, I got this Korean barbecue flavored chicken, and it was okay, but it said it was level 3 spicy, but it was not even remotely spicy, so I guess you probably have to go up to level 5 for it to even actually
I remember
matter.
one wings place in like in Tulsa, Oklahoma that's like it's got like hot, super hot, ultra hot, mega hot, insanity hot, then like suicide, and then finally homicide. And I'm like, guys, you need to make one more, genocide.
Yeah.
Genocide! And like, yeah. I want to get into spicy food.
That genocide you just did, what was that in? Was that in reference to something?
I don't know.
Because it sounded like there's a song called "A Scream to Express the Hate of a Race."
So wait, are you suggesting that I thought I should reference that and then realized immediately I would not be able to do it right, and then I'm trying to back off and pretend that wasn't what I was attempting?
No, I'm just.
Because that would be right.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
I had a feeling that could be the case.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you knew that song though.
Yeah, just because it was in like your top 100 songs list a couple years ago.
Yeah, there's a part where the guy's just screaming, "Genocide! Hear my call for genocide! Hear my call for genocide!"
I don't practice screaming enough to do it right.
Well, it was obviously accurate enough that I could tell what song you were referencing.
Yeah.
It just kind of, the way you did it sounded like how Danny Filth would have said it, of
Yeah.
Cradle of Filth.
Oh, I see. Well then. Yes.
Okay.
Where the heck were we? Oh yeah, ordering confusion. You know, at least it's not at Subway. You know, I imagine like
Subway is just...
imagine like dating like a Subway employee. Be like, oh hey, let's do it doggy style. Okay, where do I put my leg? Where do you want me to put my foot? Like, we have the prepared method. It's called doggy style. You do it this way. Why do you want me to go through all the details again? What's the point of even having a preset method, right?
I don't understand Subway at all.
Okay, in case you don't know what I mean, in case some people don't go to Subway, which is no one, like you'll go to the pre-ordered sections on the menu, like, hey, do you want to have an egg fluboopity? And it has all these things that are in the picture, and it describes all the things, and then tells you the calories even, and you say, I'll have that, and then immediately they go, okay, what kind of bread do you want? Okay, what do you want this? Do you want that? They ask you as many questions as they would if you didn't ordain a preset method for them. And I'm like, what's the point of even having anything else on the menu if you're just gonna make me do all the work?
It's really annoying, especially because, like, to me, like, the reason I'm out having someone else make me a sandwich
Right.
is because they know what goes well on a sandwich, and I am a fucking idiot. So, you know,
Yeah.
like, if I'm at home, I'm gonna stick to what I know works. It's gonna be, like, turkey, cheese, you know,
Yeah.
maybe lettuce and tomatoes if I actually went to the trouble of buying those. But, like, you go to a sandwich store because they know something you don't know. They
Right.
know some ancient method.
Or at
But,
least they're supposed to, but maybe not at Subway. Maybe they just have no confidence whatsoever because they work at Subway.
Right.
It's funny, like,
well, they always seem like everyone who works there always seems like they're upset if you tell them, like, you know, just get me what's on the thing or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
they're like, huh? Like they've never seen it happen before.
Yeah.
Like it's an event that you can trigger, and it happens every single time the exact same way, and they never learn. You know, like there's some video on YouTube by like a dude who like does like animation vlogs. Basically, it's the only way for an animator to get anywhere
This
on YouTube, right?
fucking boss.
I don't know what he's
pain
called,
in
but
the
he's
ass.
got this like really pudgy art style. It's pretty simple. I'm sure Ben would hate it. And like he has this 8-minute video about how he worked at Subway. Like he used to work at Subway and he was just telling stories about it. You know, just like things that were hard and things that were
Oh
annoying.
my fucking god, I hate this fucking boss!
Annoying customers and stuff like that. And he totally did not convince me that it's not just that he was a bad employee. Like the way that he told the stories and stuff, it just made it seem like he would have been a shitty person to take a sandwich from. And that everything is his fault. But he doesn't realize it. So basically I have a theory that Subway are all bad people. Everyone who's associated with them.
Dangerous theory, but
Yes,
who knows?
considering how many Subways there are.
I mean, I have been to a disproportionate number of subways where they seemed like total assholes. Like where people, like, you asking them a question is met with like just a blank stare, like they can't believe you don't already know what you want, you know? Like there's some places you can go where, like, okay, here's an example of an amazing service at a place with a similar setup. There's this place in town called Zoop. It's a soup store, right? And it's soup and sandwiches, basically. And every day they have like 12 different kinds of soup that they cycle through.
Oh.
And so, like, you know, you go there and there'll be a bunch of different soups. And the people there will, like, the second they'll ask, like, have you been here before? And if not, they'll explain everything about their system to you immediately. And then they'll, like, offer, you can try free samples of all the soups. You can just sit there and
gosh.
They'll be like, yeah, you want to try this one? You know, whichever soups you want to try, just let us know, because we're not going to, you know, let you buy a soup that you haven't, that you have, you know, you don't think you're going to like or whatever.
Dang.
So yeah, that is helpful shit. Subway, like, you can order something like completely retarded and they'll let you do it. You know, I've had some places where I'm like, you know, I ask for something and they're like, are you sure? Because, like, you know, that doesn't make sense. And I'm like, well, if you say so, I'll go for something else, you know?
Well, I don't know. Maybe if I don't really think of someone who has strange taste in food that much, so that hasn't really happened to me. But I feel like if I did have strange taste in food, I would be pissed off by those people.
I'm not talking about having strange taste. I'm talking about when you order something and you clearly don't know what the fuck you're ordering.
I see.
Like, okay, the worst experience I ever had at Subway, and this was like 5 years ago, because this is when, like, I don't know what the fuck I want on a sandwich. I just wanted them to give me a turkey sandwich, right? And so I ordered, like, turkey. I was like, give me this, like, turkey bacon sandwich. And they were like, well, what stuff do you want? And at the time, I was not really into vegetables at all. Like, there's only a few things that I would usually order based on. So I was like, all right, give me jalapenos and mustard. That was it. So it was a sandwich of turkey, jalapenos, and mustard. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever tried to eat at an actual restaurant. I immediately threw it away after like 2 bites.
Ow.
It was gross. So, nobody would eat it. Like, nobody who was with me would eat it. But, like, the reason I ordered so hastily is that they were just being total dicks. Like, the people at the place were just, they both seemed really pissed off, and, like, they just didn't want, like...
Every time I go to...
They seemed mad that we were even there. That, like, because it was probably, like, 8 o'clock, you know, so... They probably had like an hour or two left to be open, but we, you know, there was nobody there, and the fact that anyone had showed up had like really incensed me.
You know, when you go there early, which I had done many times, like, and they're just getting things ready, like, they seem a little bit more perky, but they do seem a little bit annoyed that they have to come up to the beginning, you know, come up to the front of the store and stuff.
Right. I mean, when me and you went and got subs at Subway recently, like, the guy seemed like he was kind of like,
yeah,
oh, I have to deal with this shit. It's like...
It just feels like
the store had literally just opened, and he already seemed like he'd been there all night, you know?
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm sure he was, like, preparing food and stuff, but, yeah. Yeah,
I hate him. I hate Subway.
Every time you go to Subway, you feel betrayed if there's someone else having a sandwich made behind you, because there's always that part where they stop working on your sandwich, and they just go on to the other person's, and you feel like you're left out in the cold. You're Subway blue-balled, you know? And, like, you can always sympathize with people that, oh man, you're stuck working at Subway. And some people are just stuck working at a Subway forever. Actually, I don't see that many old people working at Subway. Like, it's a lot less than I see old people working at, like, McDonald's.
Yeah.
But still, when you have any situation like this where it's people at, like, these crappy jobs, you know, and, like, some people are just gonna be stuck like that forever, and sometimes for no fault of their own, it just things never worked out well. So can you really blame them? Well, here's how I can blame them. All right, I figured out a rationalization. That if you don't have a good attitude, then you have unqualified yourself from the lottery of people who can get out of that situation. Right?
Yeah.
Of the people who are able to eventually make it out, I'm sure the majority of them are people with a good attitude, whether or not it's guaranteed. So there's my rationalization for why it's okay to get mad at these people.
I don't know if it's okay. I mean, obviously it wouldn't be okay to treat them like shit or anything, but...
Right, to talk shit about them on podcasts.
Yeah. I mean, sure, it's not their fault, but then nothing ever really is.
Yes.
Anyone who's an asshole, it's really just a result of their life experience. And,
right.
You know, we talk shit about assholes all the time. So...
Yes.
Yeah, it's fair. I hate this boss.
Yeah.
I hope I can kill him this time.
It's kind of counterintuitive that the boss is like elastic and rubbery and inflatable when he's a teddy bear. Just seems like it's not the right aesthetic.
It is very odd. I was thinking that myself when the match first started. That I don't understand why he's inflatable.
Okay, one last thing about food, right? Barbecue, right? You mentioned like Korean
God,
barbecue wings, yeah.
Fucking.
We went to a barbecue place like a week ago, one that Guy Fieri had went to because they have a little decal for that. I didn't know that. If Guy Fieri goes to a restaurant, they paint a little thing on the wall that he went there.
Yeah.
So, I wonder if anyone, like any hardcore Fieri fans, just like stalk him, just to go to every restaurant.
Well, I mean, me and Victor have gone to a bunch of them because Victor is like a Guy Fieri irony fan. Like, he ironically enjoys anything with Guy Fieri on it. So.
Do you know that he's basically like an American Idol food guy? Because Food Network did this thing where it's like pick the next big Food Network star. I don't know if they're still doing it. They probably aren't, but I know they did it for at least 2 years, and he was the first winner. So it's the same principle that like produces like these sort of superstars that just win at American Idol. That's what Guy Fieri is, but with food.
Weird.
Unless I'm getting his name mixed up with someone else, but I'm pretty sure he was the first winner of that.
Wasn't he the host of I mean, he's been like a host of other things even off the Food Network, right?
I don't know. Like,
I'm pretty sure
this was many years ago. So.
Do you remember the show Minute to Win It?
Yeah.
Wasn't he the host of Minute to Win It?
I don't know. I could be totally wrong, actually, now that I think about it.
Well, that show was, I mean, he was already famous by the time that show came out, but I don't know.
The only reason the Food Network matters is because of Good Eats. It's the only good cooking show. Man, you know, now that I'm like an adult and have money and time, I should like actually like watch Good Eats again and actually make some of that food. That would be a dream.
You know, I've thought that about many a cooking show. Still haven't done it.
You know Good Eats, right?
I have not.
It's the only. Oh, dude, it's a cooking show that's like actually a show, where it's like it's directed like a really cheap like comedy show. It doesn't have like a static camera. It has like more dynamic cinematography. And like it's got like characters and stuff. It's got like a dude will show up to explain the principles of bacon, and he'll be like this. He'll have like this weird personality to him, and like the events will be more scripted, and there'll be jokes and stuff. And Alton Brown is the main guy of it. He's been on many other Food Network shows, but that's like the one where it's like an actual show, and it's so goddamn cool.
Have you ever watched The F Word?
I have not.
That's one I don't know if it's close to what you're describing, but like it's another show that's like a kind of an actual show. Like I would describe it as like a variety show, but food based. But it's one of Gordon Ramsay's shows.
I see.
And I am a huge fan of Gordon.
I'm sure there are other shows that are like that. That was just the one I was really into for a long time. Do 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 do. Good Eats. Boo do 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 do.
We're down to the fucking.
Oh yeah, and he always makes his food sound way more delicious, and then he really like knows his shit about food more than a lot of them. I'm sure not more than most of them. I'm sure there's plenty who can outclass him for sure, but he like will always be explaining like the science behind why the food is good. Like he's always like, you know, he's like explaining it and getting more into the bones of like the nature of the ingredients and stuff.
Fuck, let me out of the fucking... God damn it, this boss, everything you do on him takes a fucking eternity. You have to wait for him to send out the guys, wait for him to deflate, wait for him to shoot a fucking fireball at you, and if you get caught on fire, you're just fucked.
9 seconds.
You're so fucked. I hate it. I hate this boss. There's no way. There's just no fucking way. There's no
You had
way.
beaten him though, didn't you?
No. There's just no way.
Do save states, man. You can map those to the F keys.
I'm not gonna do save states.
Why not?
Why would I do that?
Why not?
Well, it just defeats the whole point of the boss. What am I, like, where am I gonna save state in a boss fight?
Well, if you make a little bit of progress, then you save state.
Well, fuck that. I'm not no fucking cheap
Really?
bitch.
I'm surprised. This seems weird. I would expect you to be someone who would be more pro save states than me sometimes.
Not on like a boss fight. It's
Why
like the
not?
whole challenge of the game.
No, it's not. I mean, it could be, but if you're not enjoying it, then what's the point? It's more because we're doing a Let's Play. I don't want people to be stuck with this boss fight for multiple episodes.
I mean, do you think our audience would be more receptive to us using save states so we don't have to beat the boss, as opposed to fighting the boss until we beat it?
I know I would be more receptive to skipping through it.
You are a very rare breed if that's the
Why?
case. Because the audience is not here to watch the game be beaten per se. They're here to watch you beat it. You know what I mean? No
I
one's
guess.
watching this because they want to see the ending of Wario Land 4.
Well, for me, it's more like the variety of like things that can happen. Because all the Digibros episodes, I almost never watch them, but I'll click over sometimes if you're reacting to something that's happening, or sometimes I just click over because I feel like it. And seeing something different happening is what makes it refreshing and stuff.
Well, I think there's a lot. For me, I get invested in the narrative of whether the guy can beat the damn thing. You know, like, if I just skip through the boss, then all the time I've spent on the boss is for nothing. It's like, why did I even bother spending 30 minutes fighting him if I was just gonna fucking save state and cheat my way through it anyways? It's like there's no catharsis when you finally do beat it. Whereas if it takes me 3 episodes and then I beat it, it's like the hugest cum in the universe, because it's like, yeah, oh my god, I thought he was totally incompetent, but he actually fucking learned.
I don't feel like I've ever really cared.
Achieved something.
I don't feel like in most Let's Plays I care about that much. The catharsis of them beating it.
I always do. I think that's a huge, important part of the narrative of the Let's Play. Get fucked. Especially when you can see them getting, like, you know, noticeably better each time. Like, look at this. I haven't fucked up at all this time so far. So it's like, maybe now. Maybe this will be the chance. And then the audience gets excited because they're like, wow, he's playing so much better than last time. This is surely it. Like, he made it look so hard last time, but now he's not making it look nearly as hard as it did.
I'm using entirely male pronouns in this example that should be gender neutral.
It's about me, so I'm describing my current experience.
Yes.
I am male. I am not gender neutral.
Hey, did you notice well, I know you noticed, in that book that we both read from Ben, How Not to Write a Novel, it always, like, switches between the genders in its examples of stuff? Is that, like, a pretty common thing in, like, anything that's not fiction that needs to use examples of people?
What do you mean, like?
Well, like, it'll be, like, talking about, okay, this book called How Not to Write a Novel. It'll be giving you advice, and like, the reader is a character, basically. You know, they'll be like, the reader wants this, the reader will be bored from this. And also, the writer, you know, the writer wrote this chapter, the writer wrote this character. And they'll sometimes say he, they'll sometimes say she, and they always, like, flip between it.
But is it like a direct, like, every single time it's the opposite?
No,
of the last
per
time?
chapter. Like, for each section, and the chapters are really short, like only a few pages.
But they do like every single time it's flipped, is what you're saying.
I'm pretty sure it's usually flipped, but maybe sometimes. I think sometimes they flip based on, like, more like general, like, context, like certain, like, writing quirks that women would be slightly more likely to have.
Right.
They might use female instead. But
Yes! Fuck you! God damn!
that's the worst teddy bear of all.
I would say it's neither common nor uncommon,
I see.
but I've seen it before.
Alright,
Right.
well, next time on Digi and Davoo.
Yes, we did it. I hope you all felt the big cum that I described, that you wouldn't have got from save states.
Well, the fact that you did immediately succeed
Yeah.
certainly proves your case.
And look at this beautiful...
Yes, 60s style art thingy.
Alright, see you next time.